Okay, so in this video I want to point out what I sometimes hear on YouTube, sometimes from other NoFap YouTubers, but also in the comment section, of course. Now these are things that they are just plain wrong, and I want to set the record straight, and I also want to make sure you don't fall for these statements. The first one is, you're only as good as your current streak. Oh boy, this is so wrong. Not just in one way, but it is so wrong in many ways. Listen, the idea of putting your whole self-worth on a number on your day counter is absurd beyond belief. And even if we were to view that statement only in a practical sense, as in comparing who's a better NoFapper, well, it still doesn't work, because check this out. Let's say we have person A here who has been trying NoFap for 5 months now, but he hasn't mastered it yet because he always relapses on day 5. Okay, then we have person B here who has been rebooting for many years. He has learned a lot about his brain and about himself. Sure, he relapsed many times in the beginning, but he got better and better. In fact, he became so good that he skillfully managed to control his self-talk and avoid relapses for 400 days. Okay, so let's now say that 2 days ago, for some reason, person B made a small mistake that ended up in a relapse. Ouch. So now person B is on day 2. Yeah, so now person B is on day 2 and person A is on day 5. So does this mean that person A is a more skillful rebooter than person B? No way it does. Heck, for 5 months person A hasn't even gone beyond day 5. So the statement, you're only as good as your current streak, is just wrong. Well, it's wrong no matter in what way we look at it. And what about putting a NoFap number on human worth then? Well, Steve here is the most fantastic person you can think of. He constantly helps people and spreads joy around him. Then we have John here, who is resentful and lives for spreading misery around him. He steals, vandalizes, gets in fights to physically try to hurt people just because he likes that. If then Steve is on day 45 and John is on day 60, according to the statement, John is a much better person, right? Oh boy, I'm sure you guys can see how absurd this is, so please don't listen if you hear someone say those words. It doesn't even work within the same domain. If one 100-meter sprinter is on day 40 and another 100-meter sprinter is on day 70, it does not automatically mean that this guy is going to win. The second statement, NoFap will completely destroy anxiety, 100% guaranteed. This is also wrong. First, nothing is 100% guaranteed when it comes to fixing disorders. And second, don't you think it depends on what is causing the anxiety in the first place? Sure, there are thousands and thousands of guys who have eliminated their anxiety by doing NoFap. But that's because all the years of using adult sites has caused a disrupted dopamine system in their brains. A poor functioning dopamine system often leads to anxiety, and thus when guys start doing NoFap, those brain changes reverse, and so many of them experience anxiety going away, which is good. But no matter how much we like NoFap, we have to be able to be flexible in our thinking and understand that there are hundreds of reasons behind why a person can develop anxiety, from genetic predispositions to traumas to allergies and everything in between. And if there is a strong cause other than years of using adult sites, then no amount of NoFapping will ever fix that anxiety, not even if you are riding on a 2000-day streak. So the statement, NoFap will completely destroy anxiety, 100% guaranteed, is wrong, because sure it does for some, but not for everyone. And then we have the statement, you need to get to day 30 before you can be happy. Well, I can't really think of a bigger generalization than that. granted, if you have developed addiction-related brain changes, sure, it is much easier to feel joy and happiness further down your reboot as your brain heals. And it is also much more common to feel miserable in the beginning of a reboot. But that's not the same as to say you won't ever find moments of happiness before day 30. And why exactly day 30? What's so special about that number? Well, nothing. It is just pulled out of a hat. And again, it is just complete nonsense. Now, this does not mean you should relapse and that NoFap isn't a great lifestyle. No. You should keep going. And speaking of that, the weekend is here and I want to remind you of how important it is to plan your days, especially on the weekends when we have a lot of free time. I made a video a few days ago to really drive home the importance of planning, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you do so now, because I think it's a real eye-opener, as you will discover some surprising things there. You can see that video on the screen right here. Just click on that and it'll take you there. Alright, this is Scandinavian Bob signing out for today. I wish you all the best in your journey to become the strongest version of yourself, and remember, if you are going through hell, keep going.